This is Giving Anxiety, bringing you guys another AoE3 video here, back in the GUA June 2020 sub-tournaments, and we are in the round of 16 here, I believe. That should be correct. We have Conqueror versus Prince, best of 5 here. This should be a really good one. Two really good players here, pretty even skill here, and we also got Ride Coke Casting on the mic. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, so game 1 is going to be played on Wadmalaw. This is a best of 5 here. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for Prince. Let's see what civ Prince gets here in game number 1. All right, Prince getting the Japan civilization.
Good on this map, actually.
Yeah.
Quite sparse hunts, and you got that little mine on the other side of the little island, and you got a mine and a what's it called? And a couple of berry bushes there, so it's really good for Japan, actually.
Yep. And Conqueror getting the Ottoman civilization. But yeah, like you said, I think okay, they're clicking into this. All right, let's go. Get into game 1 here. Yeah, but like you said, I think in general, Ottoman can feel like a civ counter to Japan. But you brought up some good points. Obviously, this is a water map, and I would say generally, like, you know, I agree that Ottoman counters Japan, but with water, it kind of changes it a lot. And I think if Prince plays this kind of like Kinesi style, he could just like he can lose a ton on land, but just like have a bunch of eco on water or something, or really delay the game, and potentially win that way.
Yeah, especially seeing as this map's been changed slightly. It used to be there was cliffs on the side, and you could quite easily wall it up, but it's more open, more flat now, so you can be a bit more aggressive. Japan might have a bit of a harder time walling up, as you said, of Kinesi sort of style, but it's a possibility. It is also a wood start, which is probably better for Japan here than Ottoman. Obviously good for both civs.
Yeah, I actually kind of just noticed that they removed the cliffs, yeah, in the front of the base. Yeah, when did they do that? That's not super...
It was a while ago. It was before the EPL. Because this was an EPL map. But yeah, you used to have cliffs which you could wall up, and basically like 50 wood would like secure your base quite easily. But now, obviously, it's a lot more flat, a lot more standard, if you will. But it does have that free trading post line, and of course, does have a Cherokee settlements, which are pretty decent. The skirmishers you get from Cherokee are pretty good units. And some quite nice treasures on the map, actually. A lot of coin treasures, a lot of wood treasures. There's Hazard's computer somewhere for 100 wood, which is good for both players. But yeah, it should be quite interesting. And of course, you do start with canoe, as I said earlier.
Yeah, the map does. It is definitely better without the cliffs. The cliffs that they removed. The front's a lot more wide open. Okay, really long loading time, but I think we're all set now. Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, all right, here we go. So down in the south, we got Prince in the dark blue here, playing as Japan civilization, and up in the north, in the teal, light blue, is Conqueror playing as the Ottoman civilization. And yeah, looks like this is a wood start, like you said. So Conqueror are going to be building a trading post right off the bat. He is walking across an 80 coin treasure, and Prince is going to be picking up 70 food right away, and starting with the consulate here.
Actually, yeah, both players, Prince picking up 70 food, Ottoman going straight towards that trading post, does go for the wrong one, actually. I think the one you want to go for is the far left. You get the pass ever so slightly faster, but that's completely fine. And he does spot 80 food on the way, and also has his computer, I think he did also spot as he was going. I need to turn Fog of War on, I can see. Oh, he didn't, actually. But has his computer right here, probably the best treasure on the map. But this treasure over here, this one right here, 130 wood.
Oof.
You can actually kite with that canoe. If you kite correctly, you can take down the whole treasure without taking any damage on either your explorers or the canoe because of the extra ranger, which is really nice to do if you end up doing it.
Yeah, that would be pretty big if Prince can get that. And Prince actually off to a pretty good start here, like getting a 70 food treasure and then 50 wood, like 2 treasures very quickly that he got, which definitely helped him quite a bit.
Yeah, especially 50 wood. 50 wood's incredibly nice because when you go for this port consulate, you tend to have a bit of waiting time. It's a bit iffy if you're actually going to be able to get no idle time on your TC, but because of that, Prince able to put down a shrine straight away and reduce the possibility of idle time. There's the chariot orchard wagon coming down, putting that down as well. And yeah, Prince having a really good start here, but Ottoman also going to be picking up a Cherokee rifleman. which is quite nice if he's going to rush. It allows him a bit of extra damage, basically the same as another Janister, if you will. And yeah, I mean, both players having pretty decent start at the moment.
Yeah, and looking at Conqueror's deck, he has 0 water agenda. No, not even warships or anything.
Oh. I mean, Prince doesn't really have any either, so even though Wadmalaw is quite good for water, I don't think we're really going to see it. 3 fishing boats is on there. I don't know if it's been sent, but it would surprise me if it wasn't. Yeah, you can see Prince's population there. I think he's already sent 3 fishing boats. Does have CM in deck, or in list of regulars, but it's exactly the same. Bit of a treasure contention here as well. 70 food being picked up by Prince, just under the nose of our Ottoman explorer.
Yeah, it's a really nice start. And yeah, CM, I think, the Colonial Militia card is definitely very key in this matchup. As if you're trying to hold that possibly H2 rush from the Janissaries, or just the H3 timing push. Will definitely be really important.
Yeah, you get another 8 sentries and 8 irregulars, which is really nice. It bulks up your army a bit. Japan, but as for decks, yeah, pretty standard from both players. You do see intervention in the deck for Prince, which is like you don't normally see.
Hey, wait, take a look at Prince's fishing boats. How many? Wait, is that 2 or 3? That's 2, right? Or is that he only spawned 2, I think, from the shipment. Or wait, I'm confused. Or is that 2 on top of one another?
Yeah, there's another one in there.
Okay, yeah. I thought only 2 spawned because of his shipment point at first. But no,
I've never seen that happen before, actually.
They're like on top of each other.
Yeah, they're just on top of each other. But yeah, 3 fishing boats is his first card. It's quite good. Obviously worse than 3 settlers, but for Japan, 3 fishing boats is the same as 3 settlers on cherry orchards. It's going up with the what is that? Toshogu Shrine, which is standard, and what is Ottoman going up with? That's quite important. The Governor, so that's 200 gold and an outpost. So that's telling me that he's probably going to go for an H3 play.
Yeah, I can see like an early H3 cannon timing push could definitely be really strong versus Japan here. And even just locking down the TP routes here, potentially getting the 3rd one, adding in Stagecoach. We'll have to see if he goes for that or if he tries to go, for a really fast H3 and just timing push. But actually a pretty defensive tower here from Conqueror.
Yeah, pretty defensive. Although Japan obviously can go quite aggressive, and I would have preferred it to be sort of like next to the trading post. But again, that outpost can be scouted by the Japanese explorer, and maybe he's worried about that. The scouting being quite important actually. Ottoman knowing what age up they go for tends to sort of tell you what they're going to do in the matchup. But yeah, I mean, a barracks going down for Prince in base, probably suspecting a Janissary push or something, and it's not going to come. It's going to be later on. And has also transported one of his explorers over to the island. Put a shrine down there, quite nice. Gets the 3 cows that spawn on there, and also is also going to pick up 70 wood. So Prince using this sort of transitional time to get some more treasures, get some more eco up, whilst Ottoman just going to go straight for an FF.
Yeah, and there's 600 wood arriving for Prince, so we'll have to see. I mean, it looks like Prince is just committing to the H2, and yeah, I don't think he's going to really be able to have the opportunity to go H3 or try to go H3. So it looks like he's probably going to commit to the H2 play, and then perhaps at some point here ship in list of regulars to hold the pressure if it becomes if there's a lot of aggression on. We do have 4 Ashes out, so do some little Ashy raids here potentially. But actually Cherokee is quite nice here, right? You could have kind of hit and run the Ashes potentially here. Get a couple.
So yeah, Cherokee, especially that Cherokee just single rifleman, is basically a skirmisher. Does only have 4 speed, so it has a bit of struggle actually taking down Ashes, because obviously they do have 4.5 speed. But yeah, I mean, it can do a bit of damage from range. Same about Explorer, does have more range and more speed.
Yeah, definitely. It would be really nice to see. I mean, Conqueror unfortunately losing his Explorer there, but it would have been really nice to see like Conqueror, kiting with the Cherokee rifleman and then like pull tricking him away with the Explorer to compensate for that speed. But
I mean, it can still do some damage now.
Yeah,
each shot doing 26 damage versus Ashes isn't anything to snuff at. But I think he's just using it to scout. He will see that tower, Prince, but these 3-4 Ashes aren't really going to be doing anything. They're just basically scouting what's happening and being in age 2, pretty actually sort of stuck in age 2 as Japan here. No 600 coin on the board. It's quite difficult. I mean, you can't really do too much against 2 falconets. You need those flaming arrows, or you need your Jimbos, and he's not going to have any of that. He's just going to have a purely ashy army by the looks of it when that push comes in.
Yeah, I think Prince is basically going to rely on, like, perhaps enlisted regulars, just getting a big army, like doing a villager pull, getting, like, timing that with like Minutemen, and just kind of getting everything at once. And just kind of taking out the cannons that way. But yeah, it definitely can be tricky to deal with those cannons.
Yeah. Although, looking at it, number of ashes on the field, and there's only 5 Janissaries. You can do a bit of poking here. It does have 5 Janissaries coming out now. This is sort of a standard thing we saw in the EPL, right? You go up with 4 hostiles, you get 10 Janissaries. You look for a bit of a push with that, especially with a Cherokee rifle, it adds a bit of damage. And either 8 Janissaries coming out or 2 Falconets coming in when you go for the push. And yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount you can do here. You do see 6 fishing boats on the water there. Prince did go for that Portuguese consulate. Still on the Portuguese consulate. Would like to see him actually switch. But now he's going to go for double racks, so just an ashy spam, basically. Which I don't know how well this is going to go against 2 Falconets, or even if Conqueror mixes in Abyss or something. He's going to be a sort of a struggle. And he's also not even going for that... he did get a trading post up, actually, on the left. But he didn't go for this centered trading post, which I think, with his ashes, would have been the best thing he could have done.
I don't know about Prince moving this far out, and yeah, look at this, Huss out, potentially getting the snare, and here's 2 cannons. These ashes could get caught. They're getting some good hits now, but yeah, here we go. Huss are gonna snare, and cannons getting some good volleys. Prince wandering out, probably a bit too far here.
Yeah, this isn't good for Prince, and those Janissaries at this point with veterancy are a lot stronger than the ashes, especially for their cost. Just need to be careful with a couple of... Well, actually, there's nothing going the way. There's just ashes on the way. So yeah, I mean, Conqueror's in a really good spot here. That's 25 ashes going down a drain. Basically nothing, actually, from Prince. Didn't really gain anything out of it.
Yeah, you really can't, throw your army like that versus Ottoman. Yeah, 15 ashes going down to 3 Janissaries and 2 Huss. It looks like Prince was kind of just being a little bit too far out on the map. Just the 4 Huss from aging, they can connect with a snare and just completely, force a fight and just kind of clean up those ashes there.
Yeah, 5 ashes even being sent here. Again, ashes, I mean, they're good units, 25 damage with the Japanese consulate, but I mean, Janissaries here even just beat ashes to their cost, I believe. Obviously, Japan is quite significantly ahead of Nico at this point, but yeah, 2 Falconets just going to demolish these ashes. They're not going to be really doing any a huge amount of damage. We're probably going to be seeing 8 Janissaries come out. You can see that waypoint from that tower is going straight towards the Japanese base. And this front coin mine is going to be in danger. Military rickshaw finally coming out. Probably going to be seeing the stable coming down. But these two barracks might just get sort of torn down really, really quickly. And that patch of ashes is really unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate. Ashy pop there. Wow, essentially losing all of them there. And he does have military rickshaw. 2 forward barracks here. I didn't like the position on the second barracks, so I was going to point that out. It's so far forward that you're not really gonna be able to get a Minutemen pop, and they're just so far exposed. Now we have a stable actually going down, and Prince being annoying with a couple of ashes that escaped from that initial fight.
Yeah, just raiding up around, doing a bit of a sumpu, if you will. But yeah, that town centre under heavy fire now. Obviously, the town centre fire on one of those Falcons might actually take it down. Enlist regulars coming out now, as you said. Quite good just to sort of get a mass out quickly. There's 1 Contra coming out. 1,000 coin now coming through from Conqueror. I don't know if I like that. Obviously, you're pressuring here against Japan. You probably want to keep... well, you want to basically keep pressure on, and 1,000 coin, especially with that Falcon now going down, isn't going to be doing a huge amount of damage. Although that town centre, quite low HP, and Prince doesn't actually have enough to send the regulars yet.
Yeah, I think Prince is looking okay though. Actually, he's playing this pretty well. He doesn't have to make a move until the TC becomes really low, and Conqueror actually backing off here. So let Prince buy some more time. I think Prince should have been a bit more active with the ashes though. At least splitting up a couple to go raid is if you can go raid as your opponent's trying to do this death ball push with cannons, it makes it very hard to catch the army, catch the raids.
Yeah, especially with Ashley's things, they are faster, and all Ottoman has at the moment is those Janitors, which are 0.5 speed slower. Unfortunately for Conqueror, he shipped his coin forward, so that isn't getting collected. Imagine just Mams coming in now, 4 Mamelukes against, especially against Ashley Goes. Ashley Goes tend to be pretty poor against cavalry early on, which probably don't want to fight Mamelukes with Ashes, for example. But anyway, back to Sugar Shrine. On quite low HP, but the CM doing work. Does 2-shot Janissary still, which is one thing to note, pretty useful there. And yeah, Mr. Sugar Shrine's going to go down with a lot of XP going towards Conqueror's next shipment.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, man. It's so painful. Conqueror still not gathering this 1,000 coin, and you know, when is he going to notice this? This is massive, obviously. 1,000 coin just being uncollected there.
Yeah, and Nagi's even now coming in, and this is where Conqueror sort of needs to be careful. That Falconet taking a lot of damage from that CM fire, does do 132 damage a shot. That Falconet only on 14 HP, just out of range now, can't get shot again. But I mean, just one volley from his Ashes kills that Falconet, and I mean, Ashes when they've got this mass, they don't have Ashy attack, but that could come in soon, and they're just going to beat the veterans attitudes, and it's this sort of point in the game where I feel just Ottoman doesn't do too well. They don't have that backup of Falconets or Abusguns to take on this Ashy mass. And there's a number of Naganatas there to snare everything. So Ottoman in trouble here.
Yeah, so I think the biggest turning point was, you know, Conqueror didn't fully commit to the TC. Like, he needed to really, you know, commit to killing Prince's Town Center. And then, like you said, he shipped 1,000 coin, and it was like kind of an awkward shipment where, you know, it probably would have been better to maybe ship more military units or like upgrade the Jans or something. But not only did he ship like a weird crate shipment, he also didn't gather. So for like 4 minutes. So he essentially didn't even ship a shipment at a very critical moment in the game, and yeah, that's just massive.
And he still hasn't shipped a shipment now. So he's basically just given Prince 3 or 4 minutes to do whatever he wants to, right? And unfortunately for Japan, 3 or 4 minutes is huge, right? I mean, you can look at the difference in the mass he had. I think Prince only had about 20 Ashes when that push came in. And now he has 37, 8 Naginatas as well. Yeah, well, single contrast, not really been doing too much, but that contrast finally going back up again. And as soon as that goes up, that's going to be another, 5-6 conches, which will help defend against sort of a Mamluk push. And I mean, Janissary combat would have just been better, I think. Just better than 1,000 coin.
Yeah, it looks like Conqueror definitely missed his little timing window. He's still in this. He could potentially get a good trade. Well, I don't know. There's so many Ashes. I mean, he's not completely out, of course. But yeah, it is definitely looking pretty good for Prince here. Shipping Ashy Musketeer attack, which is definitely nice. Now 1,000 wood for Conqueror. But it looks like Prince is going to want to be able to force a fight. And this is a nice thing. When your opponents force to siege shrines, you're able to see like their army, their entire army, the positioning of everything. So you're able to start the fight how you want to start it. And here we go. Prince going on in. And Mams are out of position as a lot of Jans are already falling.
Yeah, and I mean, Prince doesn't really even have to take the fight here, does he? He's ahead on eco. He knows he's ahead on eco. Prince also took a trading post early on, which allowed him to sort of stop Ottoman taking the whole trading post line with basically for 200 wood. So that's really, really strong there. And what follow-up does Conqueror have now? He did send 1,000 wood, so there might be more TCs going up. But I mean, small packs of Janus who's now getting picked off. Ashigo is now having 29 attack compared to the 24 of the Janitory. Of course, there is a discrepancy in the HP there, but really, I mean, the only thing I think Conqueror can wait for is maybe put down an artillery foundry. There is one there. And go for sort of Abbas guns or Falcons. There's some Abbas in queue, and either send 5 Abbas here or send Janissary combat and just hope for the best.
Yeah, looking at the graphs, Prince, ahead in military and ahead in eagle by a significant amount, and Prince is actually 18 up behind this. So yeah, Prince looking really good. He killed that with trading post there, and he's just gonna back off now. He knows he's got better eco. And he doesn't have to like overcommit and take a bad trade or get surprised by something. He can play this. You can let the game get drawn out, play it slow, get H3, get upgrades, and he's sitting in a good spot here.
Yeah, and 5 Abbas. I don't know. Would you prefer Janissary combat here? If we look at how many units, so it's going to be 40 once that that bunch pops up from that barracks. And I mean, veteran Abascan is already in, but I don't know. I think Janissary combat would have been better. You're buffing basically a majority of your army by 20% on attack, 20% on HP. And Abascan's obviously really, really good against the Ottoman mass here. There's not a huge amount of Maganatas. There's only sort of 10. But Ashies, I mean, they do well against Abbas simply because you can sort of run up to them and just kill them when they're in low numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I agree there. Shipping them 5 boost, a little bit questionable. And obviously, it's nice when you can ship those like upgrade cards. Because they're there for the rest of the game, obviously. Where when 5 bastards could just kind of, you could lose them and then they're gone.
Yeah, and Ashley's actually getting the upgrade in now. Prince did age up. We didn't see that. I sort of missed that. But yeah, Ashley's now getting the upgrades in. And once these Ashley's have the upgrades in, they now have 32 attack. Golden Pavilion being actually built on this island over here. But yeah, I mean, these Ashes are just going to be so much better than these Janissaries. They're going to have about the same HP. Actually, no, the barracks went down, so that upgrade didn't come in. Oof. That town centre is on low HP, but again, enlisted regulars can come in at any point now for Prince.
Yeah, did he have the upgrade queued up in the other barracks? Because he's got the one more defensive barracks. Obviously, would have been a smarter place to start it.
Yeah. He's got to upgrade, got it in again. But again, I mean, the rest regulars are coming in. So you have regulars and sentries. These are really good units. Basically, another 8 or 10 musketeers here. And this big push from Conqueror, he has to go back. And yeah, I mean, that TC now sitting on 500 HP. Imagine if you said he went a bit more all in earlier and took down that TC. This fight may have gone the complete opposite way, but Ashley's now having 37 attack and 230 HP. What can Ottoman do here? And Janissary combat now coming in at sort of the wrong time.
Yeah, Conqueror really needs to put the MAMs on the front line to tank here. He's doing a really good job of controlling his A-boost, but so many of the Jans are just going down to the giant Ashley mass. He really needs to use the MAMs to tank, and I don't know, he could have like, I mean, yeah, there's a giant mass there from Prince, but he could have fought that definitely quite a bit better. MAMs, they're there mainly to tank, they're not there to do a ton of damage. And it just feels bad, Conqueror losing his entire army with like 3 MAMs still alive. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, if he can get a massive Abbas up, he is now finally taking the trading post line. Although that Explorer is just sitting there doing nothing, so maybe he's not. But imagine the raid up here as well. If Conqueror was able to get his boat up there.
Wait, how did these boats get there?
Well, they went in a canoe, but I don't know how you sort of snuck them around, especially seeing as the canoe is right next to that island. But you can see the power of sort of Japan on this map. You do have berry bushes there. Prince actually did run out of his berries in his base, but he doesn't have to send them. I mean, he had the sort of 10 berry bushes on the islands, and now he's just collecting a lot of coin there. Another push coming in for Conqueror as well, but that CMTC now being repaired as well from.
Sniping the A-boost there. Getting almost 3 in a row. Really good control there from Prince.
Abbas do really, really badly against under TCs, which is the direct opposite of Janissaries there. But, I mean, if he gets a big enough mass of Abbas, I don't think he's in an awful situation. I think he needs to either put down more TCs. Actually, looking at the score, he's 80 score behind. That's pretty significant. But, yeah, I mean, he's not in a great position, but maybe he can claw it back out, I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. He's going to be going for some of these shrines here. Conqueror definitely not in the best position here. But still trying to hang in this game. Wow, that's 17-minute hunting dogs from Conqueror. Looks like that late market. Oh, man.
And now there's a massive villager migration as well from Conqueror to get to go on that hunt. But yeah, I mean, this isn't a good position at all. I think Prince can just go mass Ashy now, and with the Golden Pavilion and the other upgrades, Ashies now have 41 attack, which is just disgusting. I think that's about the same as British musketeers in the Guard Age, the Industrial Age, when they have all the upgrades on them. But yeah, light infantry hit points now coming in for Conqueror, so he is now buffing those Abbas guns. But again, I mean, Ashigos are just so good. They have the speed. They're now even getting in Flintlock, getting more HP on them. And they just dominate here. I mean, they have what, even 32 siege attacks. So we're just going to demolish all these houses and the infrastructure that Conqueror has.
Yeah, and when you can make like these types of army compositions where you're just training 1 or 2 units, like it allows you to just stack these upgrades for like that specific unit. And yeah, like you're saying, like look at these Ashies with like 2 cards and 3 upgrades. They're just like insane.
Yeah, they're pretty ridiculous actually. I mean, you can look at how they just destroy these Janitors. Janitors even having a card on their own, they just get demolished. But obviously the Abascans do quite well here. I would quite like to see counter-infantry rifling. I mean, you basically do an extra 48 damage as the Ashi, which is nothing to snuff at really. And more TCs is what Conqueror needs, just to sort of claw this back. But again, it's Japan. You're going late game versus Japan. There's probably going to be some Naganatas coming out soon. And what do you do really?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised to see that there's no Nagys right now for Prince. It looks like his macro got quite a bit sloppy here, as he because he didn't ship the 2 cherry orchards, which like was a nice adaptation by him, where like he didn't really have to since he went on these islands. But I think it also messed with his macro, because now he's like really low food. He's floating a bunch of wood and a bunch of gold, so I think he kind of got thrown off from like typically Jap would be just shipping the 2 cherry orchards and be chilling. And yeah, now he ships them, but it definitely affected his macro there quite a bit.
Yeah, and maybe sort of flaming arrows would come in now. It's a bit of a lag. I don't know what's actually happening.
Are you ready?
Oh, there you go. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I mean, it's quite a mass from Conqueror. It actually is ahead on eco now, and does have actually the counter unit of the Abascans. And yeah, I mean, he sort of needs to push in here, but again, he can't. There's going to be another batch of CM coming through, and another town centre. So Prince just biding his time, building loads of his town centres. Each one of these effectively working as his own unit, if you will. 135 attack. He is sieging down some shrines here, but he's on a timer, and I think the timer is sort of ended here.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps if Conqueror can, like, build these 2 trading posts or throw up his own town center, maybe he can, I don't know, find some way to close the eco gap. But yeah, a lot of Yumi's not being added, and it is looking pretty laggy now. I don't know why. With some lag spikes.
LOL, I am ROTFL. Are you ready?
Yeah, the game seemed pretty smooth for a while there, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it was smooth for a while. I'm not lagging. I can tell you that for sure. Because it looks like FPS lag in the sense that someone's game is sort of freezing constantly.
Yeah, it did take forever to load into this game too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Prince plays Treaty. Not Prince, Conqueror plays Treaty, so he shouldn't lag. But I mean, yeah, he's now getting pushed into his 3 town centres, and this is just a death trap waiting to happen. You've got another 2 batches of CM which will come out, and of course 135 damage from each one of these shots is pretty important. These Naganatas also going to get on top of the Abbas, and Mamluks also going to get on top of actually the Naganatas, so he is taking a lot of damage on his Mamluks, so honestly, with artillery attack here, these direction Abascans are doing well.
Yeah, it's pretty good positioning from Conqueror. Unfortunately, a lot of big giant lag spike here. Oh, this is weird. This is weird lag, even for AoE 3. This is weird, like some freeze lag.
Although I think Prince is, if you're talking about lag, Prince's combination is probably better on lag. Although, actually, I think he's getting quite a good trade here, Conqueror.
Yeah, but those 5 Nagy are huge. And I think Prince is going to have just enough here to win this fight here. He does, Conqueror does deal with Nagys quite well there. But still quite a bit of Yumis on the field here.
There's 6 Nagys in Cuba, and once those Nagys come out, the game's sort of over. This lag's really, really annoying.
Yeah, this is
stopping every sort of 10-15 seconds. But
so,
I mean,
Yeah, all in all, it looks like pretty much an even trade here. Almost a complete even trade. This is weird. Usually you don't see like fights end like this. Like it's gonna be like a 1 unit versus 1 unit, but here are the reinforcing Nagys. And like as I was gonna say, just it doesn't matter if it was an even trade. Prince, with the superior eco, is gonna be in the winning position after that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird lag. It was smooth, and then it just started lagging at the end. That was definitely strange. Yeah, we'll try like one more game co-casting, and I don't know if the next game's like laggy for some reason, then I guess I'll solo cast it. But yeah, it was smooth for a while there, so I don't know. That was kind of strange. But anyways, game 1 going to Prince here, and it's not like I don't think it. Alright everybody, we're about to be getting into game 2 here in this best of 5 between Conqueror and Prince. We had to get a sub for the co-caster. We got Kaiser Klein subbing on in. And yeah, Kaiser giving his thoughts about this matchup a little bit. Conqueror playing Sioux and Prince playing Port on Manchuria. So obviously C can come into play here, but I'm pretty sure Prince hates water and isn't a water player. So I don't know. Do you expect water to kind of influence this game, or?
That's a good. I don't know if I ever remember Prince going water. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he would go water or not. I really don't know. But yeah, I don't remember him going water in any specific game. So yeah, I would assume he's probably not much of a water player. But then again, this matchup makes you want to go water, I guess. Like it's really good against Sioux to go water, because Sioux kind of just sucks against water, and ports obviously are like best water boom civs. So we'll see if it comes into play.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Right. It seems like the pretty clear choice to go water on this map, to go C with ports. But I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly, that Prince was obviously one of the participants in the New World Championship tournament at the LAN event, and if I remember correctly, I remember his interview where Interjection was asking everybody, if you could change one thing about AoE 3, what would you change? And I'm pretty sure Prince said that he would just delete water from the game. So
yeah, that could be, yeah, that could. I don't remember that, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Yeah. So okay, yeah. Then I guess he's not gonna go water.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Then again, you don't have to go water, but it just feels good in this matchup, I guess. And like we say, if you don't go water anyway, you're still gonna have to probably just turtle, and because Sioux is gonna get so many more units out than ports in the early game, so it's gonna be very tough for ports to secure any map control.
Yeah.
Even though they do have the town centers, but these can go down pretty fast to the siege dance and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's with his load-in time. This was the same in game 1, it taking an incredibly long time to load in, but it was pretty smooth initially in game 1, even though there was long load-in time. So hopefully it runs smooth here. But yeah, an interesting point to bring up here is the TP route. On this map, it can spawn like this, where there's these 3 TPs, or you could have the side ones, and I think you'd probably agree that this is better for Sioux. This spawns better for Sioux than the other one.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because one could think that Fort is gonna be able to go ATP or something like that, but against Sioux, it's realistically you don't really want to go ATP against Sioux, because it's just really likely that you're gonna lose your explorer and just not able to build your trading post. So yeah, this TP line is definitely better for Sioux, because so the Portuguese TP is not going to be so safe, and Sioux might be able to get straight TP stagecoach at some point. But meanwhile, Ports did get 90 wood, so regardless of the TP spawn, he's going to be pleased about that, getting that trading post easily, which is not necessarily something you can always do as Ports in H1. One way to do it is to go 10-10, so just don't chop anything, and he could have done it and eaten some yaks, but yeah, he decided to just use the 90 wood to build a house, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's really nice being able to get that. Conqueror did get a really good treasure himself. He picked up 150 coin, but he's not going to be able to use that in Age 1 at all, so Obviously, 150 coin is a really good treasure, but yeah, it doesn't affect his Age 1 build where, you know, Prince really worked that 90 wood into his build, and yeah, it could be so massive when players, you know, start doing that and, you know, learn how to incorporate their treasures into their, like, build order in Age 1 like Prince did there.
Yeah. And it's kind of a bit of a questionable treasure to take. I mean, like you said, it doesn't help him in Age 1, and he's kind of low HP already on his war chief. And then, for example, he couldn't take this, which is kind of more important to take right now because obviously Ports is never going to be able to take 150 gold, right? You're not in a hurry to take it as Sioux because you know you will get it sooner or later. But that kind of treasure like the 90 wood, you kind of want to take them as fast as you can. Also, maybe, you know, it could have been good if he had a market instead of TPs. Then he would have been able to buy wood with the treasure, but he was not able. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like with, you know, Conqueror being Sioux, with the Sioux Explorer, he's so fast. Like, you know that there's 90 wood treasures on this map all the time, and you're gonna be able to easily explore them since you have this like Explorer that's super fast. So yeah, I think you're definitely right. Going for that 150 coin definitely seemed very questionable. And yeah, like you said, he could have potentially turned wood treasures maybe into a trading post, maybe into a market, or just the TPs, you know, to boost the gathering rate.
Yeah. And now again, like look at look at what's going on here. I don't know if you saw that, but oh my god. Yeah, just, you know, yeah, that coin treasure being pretty painful here. I mean, is he? Oh, this is close, man. Jesus Christ! Oh my god, no! That's. Yeah, so
that's bad.
Yeah, not too good for Sioux. Losing Explorer Sioux that never feels very good. But he's gonna be up. You know, he's giving XP to Mother Nature, which doesn't matter. So it's not that big of a deal actually. Like he's got a bill, he's gonna hurt anyway. Now he's gonna just he's got that H2 strong war chief, and he can surely easily take that treasure. But meanwhile, he's not taking a trading post because of all that as well. But he's sending 4 wheels on top to control the TP line and build that war hut there. And Prince is going for schooners and a dock. So.
Yeah, Prince bringing out the sea play. I mean, that's shocking, obviously, is, you know, he's playing as Port versus Sioux here on this map. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Prince is much of a water player, but he probably just feels like, well, you know, this is just too good to pass up. You know, going sea on this map here in this situation.
Yeah. And by the way, Conqueror fast aged, so he's already planning on being quite aggressive in. I don't know about this plan. Fast age is, you know, you're stuck in H2 usually for a while if you fast age, and you really need to do a lot of damage to make it pay off, kind of. And obviously he will be able to get a stagecoach quite easily, but meanwhile, if Ports is just water booming and just defending the H2 push, he's gonna be in a great position, I think.
Oh wow, actually, 4X are shipped to the wrong place, though. That's a little bit painful. Shipped to the TC and making Sedans. So I was actually expecting Conqueror to maybe make clubs and take down that TP and get that quick 3 TPs, but we're actually seeing Sedans. But I don't, like, what are they gonna be able to do here? Like,
yeah,
just die to TC fire.
Yeah, he wants to idle with them, but they're like really bad at idling because they have that awkward animation, which makes it kind of really easy for your opponent to, like, you have time to pull back your wheels in. You can see that they're gonna shoot, and they don't tank so much either against TC fire. So I don't know what they're really gonna achieve here. I feel like clubs, if clubs could have even taken the dock down maybe, or the trading post, but Setons don't feel like the right units.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good point that you brought up. That, like, you know, the Seton's animation to attack, it's quite long, so yeah, it's easy to pull your villagers in TC, and yeah, not really a vital time to them.
Right. And even now, you know, like Setons do great against musketeers, but you need to have enough of them because you can't hit and run with them. So it's not like you can just poke at the musk. You kind of have to have enough of them to really take a fight. But now he's got more. So yeah, he's gonna try to idle again. Maybe gonna get a bill actually.
Yeah. little bit sloppy there from Prince, but yeah, I mean Prince is kind of in a situation where like he could just keep his muskets behind his TC. Like there's no reason for him to ever leave his town center here. He's got 2 TC fire, which can just wreck the Sedans if Conqueror decides to push in, and it just feels like Prince can just like hold this with just TC fire, you know?
Yeah, and what is the follow-up behind? I mean, Sioux just doesn't even have 1 trading post, and he's got just 2 TPs in base, but no market either. So like his eco is just as bad as it gets. Now going for 7 clubs as well. So really aggressive here, but not looking like he's achieving too much so far. And it feels like no matter what kind of mass he gets here, Ports will be able to call 2 batches of Minutemen and just defend, and
Yeah, I think Conqueror's initial idea, like when he clicked into this matchup, he was probably thinking like, okay, Port's is gonna put their second TC on the water, on the shoreline, and then it will make it much easier to push on the starting TC. So, but obviously that's not the case this game, and it's just making this significantly different. Like if this was just 1 TC, then yeah, maybe this push would be pretty good for Conqueror. But with 2 TCs right next to each other, it just completely changes it.
And also the fact that he's got that Wahat on top, really, it was looking like he had that plan to control the TP line, and but if you're not even gonna burn the TP down, and like then you might as well drop your Wahat here and just have like the middle of the map. I don't know, like it's kind of a clunky Wahat placement if you're not gonna try to control the TP line at all. So kind of weird play by Sioux here, and I don't know, 8 bows by Ports, and now it just feels like he's in a position where he can defend that, and might want to stable at some point, because it's gonna be a bit hard to deal with Satans without any hustles, but yeah, that's not too many units by Sioux.
Yeah, it looks like he may get trapped here too. There's
Yeah.
a good amount of units from Prince here. Seems gonna try to maybe get some volleys in. But yeah, looking at the recalculate eco 35 to 26, so yeah, Conqueror's on a clock here, but I mean, it's just the military's tied, so not a whole lot he can really do.
Yeah, and there's like basically 3 TCs for Ports if you account for the dock, and against 1 for Sioux. So obviously it's not gonna get any better. So Sioux, he's gonna run away, but what next? Like, how is it gonna be any better ever than right now for Sioux? Like in terms of military, he's just gonna get outmassed, and he can't age because he used the fast age already. So he's kind of stuck in that situation where he kind of lost the game. I mean, I don't know what he does from here, really.
Yeah, definitely a questionable strategy just coming out from Conqueror. It felt like, regardless of like how good Conqueror played and like controlled his units, like if he had perfect control of his units and like perfect micro in this game, it still felt like there's kind of no way for him to win just because he chose the wrong strategy,
Yeah, he made it really hard for himself to win for sure. No matter how well he plays after that, it's kind of a challenge to win with that build order against what Prince is doing, and Prince even stacking resources for an Asia. So he feels comfortable aging as well, which is maybe not needed, but I think he can get away with aging.
Yeah, Conqueror, looks like Conqueror is kind of going for the wrong strategy here, and of course, strategy is very important. Do the wrong build, the wrong strategy, and it can be very difficult to win.
Yeah, and well, he's been taking decent trades with his Satans, but it doesn't look like it's enough to really force anything here. Also, he's gonna have to be a bit careful because he doesn't know if Prince has a stable or not, and he's got like no anti-cav. So Dictator is gonna probably have to preemptively pull back, just in case. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable doing what Dictator is doing right now with like just 3 clubs and more Satans coming as well. So yeah, he's probably just gonna pull back. Maybe he's gonna go and get this down, but meanwhile Prince is gonna be H3, and yeah, it's gonna be tough for Dictator.
Yep, Prince aging up, and really nothing Conqueror can do here.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't ate his yaks. This is always something that like kind of bothers me. Like I know it's awkward eating like your yaks early, but this game is essentially getting decided before Conqueror, and Conqueror hasn't even ate any of his yaks. Like he's got like over 1,000 food here that's like gathers incredibly quickly, but yet the game's already over and he just hasn't utilized it, you know?
Yeah, right. He might have wanted to eat maybe like 2 of them or something, but because he got some pretty poor batches as well early on. He got like 2 or 3 settings, and maybe if he ate 1 or 2 yaks, he might have been able to get a real batch. And yeah, so yeah, GG.
Yeah, he just taps out. It's always just painful for me when you see like so many yaks. Just the game's over and you didn't utilize, them. Even though right, it would have been kind of weird to eat them early, but it's still better than obviously resigning with like all this just floating there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, not much else to say about this game. Just not much of a plan by Dictator here, and I don't know what he hoped to achieve, but didn't work.
Yeah, I think he was really expecting that second TC to be further away.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, game 3 is going to be played on Malaysia. Alright, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for Prince. Let's see what Civ Prince gets here in game number 3. Alright, Prince getting the Dutch civilization. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel for Conqueror. Let's see what Civ Conqueror gets here in game number 3. Conqueror getting the India civilization. Yeah, alright, I'm kind of surprised. No civ respins coming out, and yeah, this is, like you said, this is match point here, so Prince is currently up 2-0 on the best of 5. Conqueror clicking in, not deciding to use a civ respin. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is Dutch favored. You brought up, some pretty good points. It could be pretty even, but would you use your civ respin here? Because like most people consider Dutch kind of a lower tier civ, and I feel like the chance of respinning and getting a civ better than India would be kind of high. Like this isn't a bad matchup, but I feel like if you respin, you would get a better one.
I think because of this map, which is like one of the best India map, and the fact that Dictator is quite comfortable with India, he's played a lot of India, and Dictator doesn't necessarily play that many civs. I think if anything, he should have maybe respin the Sioux previous game, but I think he's pretty good with India. So I can see why he's not respinning. And meanwhile, I think PrinceofKabul is just comfortable with Dutch as well, and he just feels like he doesn't want to respin either. So, yeah, I guess that's why. We do have a wood start, which is quite nice for India.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, that would actually be massive. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk lately about crate starts with Balance Team and just the community, and yeah, this is one of the situations where like the crate start can impact this game like incredibly drastically. Like if it's a wood start, it's obviously good for India, and like if it's a coin start, Dutch gets one more coin crate right in that situation, or where like India would get the coin crate and they wouldn't be able to use that at all, but and then Dutch would also get one more coin crate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Coin start.
Yeah. So Dutch would get five coin crates.
Right.
And,
yeah, that would be horrible. A coin start in this matchup that would feel bad.
Yeah, India does age kind of late if you get a coin start for sure. It doesn't matter so much for Dutch actually. Like they usually age up at the same time anyway, and having coin or wood anyway just kind of makes your bank easier to build. And that's what matters really, but for India it matters because if you age late, especially in a matchup where you may want to go for some pressure in H2, obviously it's not too good for India. But he's got that wood start, gonna be pretty pleased with that. He's gonna get these yaks. Kind of unfortunately for India here, going on I want to say the wrong side, but it's just bad luck really. If you look at the map, all the yaks have spawned pretty much on the other side. So a bit unfortunate for India maybe. Not gonna find that many yaks here.
Yeah, it feels a little weird with Conqueror. It would probably be smarter to split up your explorers, right? Put one on each side. I mean, it obviously makes getting the treasures a little more difficult, but
Yeah.
it obviously increases the likelihood that you'll be getting the yak. So, but we saw Conqueror, sending both of his explorers on the same side of the map.
Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell because now he's able to take that 90 food, and he for sure would not if he didn't have both of them. But stunning a little bit late, and that elephant is really low HP already.
Yeah, definitely taking a little more damage than necessary there. It's a very nice treasure there, 90 food.
Yeah, but like we said, meanwhile Dutch is just gonna get so many more yaks, and he's also sitting on an 80 wood right now. Which India is probably not going to be able to deny. Although
he's walking
looks
away.
like...
Oh, found another yak. And yeah, right. Especially with that low HP Explorer that Conqueror has, it makes getting treasures for Prince easier, and Prince also can potentially pick off that India Explorer, which is always really big. And gonna get a snare here onto the full HP one. See if Conqueror gonna try to get a pull trade.
Yeah.
Conqueror found one yak there.
And the problem now is that, he's gonna try to pull trick, but he's gonna have to be really careful because that second monk is so low HP, he can't afford to get shot too much or anything like that. So, but looks like he's gonna be able to pull away, I think, soon. He needs to try again because that's not working right now. But no, never mind.
Oh, he does get away there, but. Yep, both of them pretty low here. And Prince now just going to crack shot this one, pick up that 35 wood. And we do have a forward aggro actually from Conqueror here.
Yeah, and we have to mention that this map tends to have...
actually, I don't know why I'm saying that as if it's a surprise.
but this map can be quite low hunt, and I thought that was fixed. Maybe we could have rehosted. I don't know, because the hunts were fair, but they're so just far. Like there's basically no hunt for both of them.
Yeah, Malaysia is definitely a bit weird. Yeah, we could have perhaps done a restart, but like you said, it is fair. It's mirrored.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate where it's a fair map, but the hunts are just really far.
Yeah, I think it's fine because imagine that would be a tournament where you pick your civs yourself and you green up into this matchup expecting to have hunts, and then you don't as Dutch. Obviously, you feel like you've been you're just map screwed, right? But I guess now anyway it doesn't matter because it's not like he wanted to be Dutch on this map or anything, and anyway he just got the civ you gave him, so I guess we don't need to rehost that. But he did a good job. I mean, Prince did a good job at bringing that hunt as close as he can. I feel like he's gonna backherd before he can bring the town center because he can't bring a hunt.
Looked like he almost got a 80 wood steal, but Prince picking up that 80 wood there. But yeah, like you said, Prince doing a pretty good job of herding actually both of these two really far hunts. And Conqueror building one trade post here, and now building a market, so he's not going to do like a super early all-in rush or anything like that. He's going to be working on some market upgrades, as Conqueror just now hitting H2 with a shipment and a half in the bank. And we'll have to see what Conqueror goes for here. It seems like he's most likely going to be going for like the H2 kind of timing push / like contain. And yeah, with these far hunts and far resources, it could be good here. We'll have to see though. But also, Dutch doesn't rely on food, as heavily as other civs, like Brits or something, since their villagers cost gold and they have banks together, gold for them.
And the starting hunt is actually really huge on this map. So, but there you go. Like I expected, it's the second hunt is backherding, so that's a little bit awkward now. But yeah, he does have 8 yaks, some berries, a big starting hunt. I think, and that hunt backherded, but it's not too far from his base, so I think Dutch should be sort of okay. Anyway, it doesn't look like India is going to be too aggressive, like you said, so...
Yeah, and I think one of Conqueror's best, skill points, or like one of the best things about Conqueror's gameplay is his base building. And we're seeing that really well done here by Conqueror with his market closing off, and you move the yaks here to make a wall with the yaks. So he's really good at his base building and doing a good job of it here.
Prince. Yeah, he's blocking.
Oh
quite
yeah,
well.
sorry, Prince. Yeah, sorry, say Conqueror there. Yeah, I mean Prince there.
But yeah, that's a pretty smart move. I think a bank. Oh, that's kind of a risky bank placement. Like, Dictator could have been like shipping units first and just pushing that bank right now and prevent it from going up. But it will go up. So Dutch is okay. Just doing Dutch stuff really at this point against India. You just open barracks, make skirms, try to figure out if they're gonna push you or not. If you think they're gonna push you in H2, you'll probably get 8 pikes somewhere in the build, and maybe a stable for a few hussars can be nice. Because India tends to go heavy on Gorkha against Dutch, and maybe some Sawars, and hussars do great against both of these units. But yeah, for the time being, just one barracks. Probably gonna add a stable from 600 wood next. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like Conqueror is shipping diplomatic intrigue, so I think he's gonna be going for this consulate timing push. What do you think? Are you expecting to see the 3 hussars from the consulate, or actually no? Well, he did ship. He shipped a second wood trickle. So, what do you think? Are we gonna see the villagers or some hussars out of this consulate?
I think we're gonna see the bills. I mean, it would make sense because he's playing it very, very greedy. And oh, but wait, what was that? What does he have in queue? He's got the huss actually. Yeah.
I'm going for the
Okay,
huss.
so yeah, it's kind of weird because he's gonna have a timing, but it's gonna be kind of a weak timing because of that wood trickle first. I would expect that if you go for that kind of timing, you would maybe go for 600 wood first, because yeah, that's the classic, 4 Sawars, 3 gardeners at the same time. But he just doesn't have a whole lot of infantry. Like, he's trained 13 Gurkhas, which is not all that much, and I don't know. We'll see. I guess Prince just doesn't have a lot of units either. He's trying to age right now, and he's got a stable up, but not a Hassa in queue or anything. So yeah, this might be a little bit hard for Prince to hold, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit greedy from Prince trying to age here against India, and Prince didn't eat any of his yaks either. So yeah, this is looking sketchy for Prince here. As all the huts are moving in, completely surrounding these skirmishers. Minutemen are being called, but this army is going to get completely wrecked here, it looks like.
But a really nice bill block by Prince. These bills have done such a good job at blocking and sponging damage, just buying time. And but Prince, he needs to age. It's okay to lose your units if you're gonna be aged behind and be okay, but he needs to buy food and age now. And yeah, 2 bills going down, maybe 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's 5 bills. Jesus.
Yeah, that's rough. Those skirmishers, like you said, they stayed alive kind of like way longer than they really should have. That was really good Vil positioning from Prince there. But man, trying to squeeze in that age a bit, it just felt so greedy not even eat 1 yak. And if you're gonna try to squeeze in an age up like that versus India, you gotta either like cut Vils or eat yaks or something to kind of squeeze in the age up a little bit sooner. It feels like.
Yeah, I think, generally speaking anyway, you kind of want to have units in queue no matter what, and maybe even 8 pikes in queue. You can always cancel it and age, but I wouldn't do that. I think I would have a Huss in queue, because imagine 5 Huss even now would just completely destroy India actually. So it could have been a good thing to do, maybe having these 8 pikes in queue just in case, and 1 Huss, 1 skirm, something like that. Maybe finish the batch, maybe cancel the batch, but yeah, a bit greedy by Dutch for sure. And that bank, I don't know if it will go down. I guess there will be a shipment on the field soon enough to defend it, probably.
Yeah, so after all this, we have Conqueror with 43 eco pop to Prince's 34, but Prince is in H3 here. He does have a shipment on the way, and he also has another shipment, so he's going to be having his first H3 shipment arrive here in just a few seconds or in a little bit here, and then he's also having another shipment. And wow, 4 hussars!
Yeah, 5 even on now.
Oh yeah, 5.
Yeah, there's maybe just not enough sepoys to really deal with that because of the Reiters, and TC Fire should be able to deal with the... But I guess Conqueror is going to be able to hit around his way out of here. He shipped 5 sepoys as well, and bringing a Vil in. Bit unfortunate, but he's going to pull it back now. And yeah, so he's gonna actually force Dutch back, and You know, that Huss shipment was a bit greedy by Prince. He was hoping he could clean up with it, but if he doesn't clean up, then he can't fight, right? I mean, if you have 8 skirms, you can poke. But yeah, and 9 routers, I don't know why he doesn't want to ship 8 skirms. But that might just be enough, regardless.
Yeah, interesting trade here. Definitely could have been skirms, but the Roaders are doing pretty good work here.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're
Pretty good trade.
Yeah, completely clean up Conqueror's army here.
And that 500 HP bang has to be frustrating.
Oh, Minutemen call! Conqueror!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, he kind of needs to defend his Gorkhas. He can't really afford to let them die to the Reiters, so just calling Minutemen, trying to get the most out of his units. And all in all, getting a, you know, not the worst trade for India. Definitely better for Dutch, but yeah, I don't know, because now Dutch is H3, he's going to be able to ship more units, and India doesn't have a massive follower behind this. So I don't know what he's really going to do now. I guess he can just add a second barracks and try to make a lot of Gorkhas, but
yeah,
Camel attack also coming in, feeling a little bit awkward right now.
It felt like Conqueror's Gurkha were out of position there. Like, I think they could have kept retreating and like retreated more.
Yeah.
When like the Minutemen were being called, and you know, like even right now, he's keeping his units like in front of the Agra. It just kind of feels like awkward positioning of his units.
Yeah, definitely. A batch of Sawas, but I don't know that they're gonna do too much against this unit composition. Yeah, it does not look very good for India at this point. I don't know how we can challenge this skirm mass here. And you know, if in the back of this, India had maybe 2 TP stagecoach, or I don't know, something else, something more than what he has now, he could be maybe in a sort of okay spot, but he just doesn't really have much going for him.
Yeah, I mean, now he's backing up, he's positioning his army behind the Agra, and he should have been doing that earlier. He was kind of bleeding out units there, taking bad trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up 8 vills, and recalculate the ecograph. But yeah, an age behind, and behind in military by a significant amount.
Yeah, it just feels like he's not gonna be able to deal with this this mass really at any point. I don't know. That being said, now he's got a big batch of reinforcement, also getting a couple free kills. But I don't know. These trees are gonna make it so hard for the Sawas to reconnect properly.
Yeah, and here we go. Conqueror going in with the Sours, trying to get the surround, but a lot of Reuters.
Yeah. I don't know. They're strong. I mean, they're double-carded Sawas, but I guess actually, I don't know. This is pretty close.
Seem to be trading pretty well. Gurkha got to keep up there, get as many shots in as possible. Now actually backing up with the Zams. Control's a little bit off, perhaps for Conqueror. But all in all, Conqueror retreating here, and I don't know, kind of an even trade.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like maybe India could have done more there. Maybe I think it was his one chance to maybe come back in the game, and that trade was probably not good enough to really win from here. And he might have been able to surround a bit better with the Sawas. And but by the way, Sawas have been buffed, and I just checked, but they have 26 with the camel attack times 2.5 against skirms. So they actually do like 65 damage, which is
damn
against skirms. So it's well, yeah, they did good against the skirms for sure, but not enough.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you know, Conqueror's unit control and positioning was a little bit off there, and it felt like he could have won that fight, and perhaps should have. With the Sours just initially starting the fight, like they didn't connect immediately, and then even like the Gurkhas were kind of too far behind. They would like get shots off and then go idled for like a few seconds. Could have been a little bit better control from Conqueror there, but you know, easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Even just at the start of the fight, his Sawas were focusing the Reiters for a couple seconds, and that might have been just enough to tip the fight into Prince's favor. And now I don't know. Dutch has he's added a 5th bank, yeah, because he's almost back to even with the Indian eco. So yeah, I mean,
it's just pretty good for Dutch. Then again, India is like one of the best H2 civs in late H2. They have these strong upgrades. They have the strong unit composition. So I don't know. It's still a game. Like I could see the Sawas just crushing the next fight or something like that. And now also Dutch is gonna be a little bit in trouble in terms of hunts. And that's a nice raid.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a nice musket raid if not seeing them initially, but could pick up all 4, which would be big. But yeah, Prince reacting in time. Only going to lose 1 build there, as Conqueror didn't notice it right away. But here's a hush rate actually from Prince, which can be massive. And yeah, there's a lot of exposed villagers, but there are the Musketeers not too far away, and it looks like Prince just not noticing perhaps a dead Hun over here. Maybe never scouted that.
Oh man, that's a lot of Sawas. But not the right... I don't know if I would go in there, but then again, does it matter? He's got like so much cav. Maybe he's just going to clean this up completely. I feel like he might have wanted to take a fight out of the Dutch base and not.
Oh, Swiss!
Oh my God! What? Oh Jesus Christ! That's so unfortunate for India. Oh man,
really
he's gonna have to pull back. Jesus.
I mean, that kind of worked the best for Conquer. I mean, it didn't even go good for Conquer, but like he managed to fight like very slightly before the Swiss pike arrived. Like imagine if the Swiss pike were there at the start of the fight, then obviously we would have no chance. But yeah, after all that, it's still just looking really good for Prince.
Yeah, he did lose a bunch of bills, like more than 10 bills in this fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, if India can not die right now, which is going to be hard, yeah, I think he's dead. I don't know what he's doing with his units right now. That is not...
Zams, what are you... Zams are going down.
Oh, man. That could have... I don't know, I feel like he could have hit and run that. These dams, they do so good. They would one-shoot the hussars for sure because they are double-carded, so... But yeah, now, I don't know, from here it's very tough because now he's lost his entire army and you're gonna call the GG.
Yeah, there's the GG, yeah. At the very least, he should have just lived with the Zams, but... yeah, either way, GG. Prince taking this one 3-0 pretty convincingly.
Yeah, almost to come back from Dictator there, it seemed like he almost had this, but yeah, pushing in base instead of maybe pushing, if you see those vills next to the TP socket on the right, you know, he could have pushed there, he could have denied the resources instead of pushing in the TC, over committing a bit to these Swiss spikes in the choke, you know, he could have been pushing somewhere else and maybe won the game actually. India seemed to be in a decent position at some point at the end, but yeah. Definitely interesting Swiss spike choice here by Prince paying off and winning the game.
Yeah, like you said, pushing on these villagers on these far hunts. Yeah, that could have been just, you know, a complete game changing. And yeah, I mean, you got to be thinking that as India and, you know, as Conqueror, like the resources on the map's far. You know, you got to try to starve out your opponent from the rise. And it seemed like, you know, that should have been like the obvious choice to like at least, you know, check these hunts and kind of push on both sides, but instead Conqueror kind of pushing underneath the TC, which can make things a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I was already like, you know, when I saw him going in there, I was like, I wouldn't go in that choke. I didn't expect Swiss spikes to pop, but you know, obviously there's more chances of something to pop on your units when you're pushing in the TC than when you're pushing in no buildings, right? It's a bit safer if there's no town center, so yeah, it was kind of obvious that he should not have pushed in there. Especially, he did a good job of denying the hunt on the top with his redcoats, you know. So it feels like Dictator knew that he had the power to deny the resources there, and that's what he needed to do. But if he only did the same on the right hunt as well, he would have been in a very solid position, I think. Because looking at Prince macro right now, he's also floating 1k 300 gold. And no food because of no hunts. So, you know, he could have just kept denying them. And it's also, by the way, probably why he went for Swiss spikes to begin with, because he didn't have food. So, yeah, Dictator just needed to keep starving Dutch at this point.
Yeah, it definitely would have been the better option. But that's going to wrap up the series. And that's going to wrap up this YouTube video. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to follow, sub, and check out the rest of the tournaments. And see you guys in the next video. Alright.